म्हटल्यार सिजन सोडून सुद्दां भायर पावस पडटा. सो हे कित्याक लागून पडटा, कित्याक हो क्लायमेट चेंज जाता? सुनामी इन फ्युचर येवंक शकता. ह्या वर्साक आमी पळयलें जे लायटनींग जाता ते चड सकयल जाता. सो अर्लियर जे पास्ट इयर्स आसा तेन्ना आमी पळयलें लायटनींग आसा ते वयर जाताली. सो ह्या वर्साक आमी आयकलां लायटनींग आसा ते पडटा, कोणाच्या घरार पडटा, कोणाचे आनी खंय पडटा. सो ते कित्याक लागून आसतलें? नमस्कार, म्हजें नांव गौरेश गांवकर. तुमी जाणा आसतले ह्या दिसांनी क्लायमेट चेंज जाता. ही फाटली 2-3 वर्स जालीं आमी पळयतात पावस हो जो आसा तो केन्ना पडटा. तशी गरमी केन्नाय खंयच्याय सिजनाक गरमी जाता. तशीच पावस हो खंयच एक पावसाळो सिजन सोडून केन्नाय पावस पडटा. सो हेजे बद्दल ह्या वर्साक आमी पळयलें की दिवाळेक सुद्दां पावस पडलो. जाल्यार दिवाळे दिसाक सुद्दां पावस पडटा जेन्ना लायट्स बीन लायतात आनी दिवाळे दिसाक सुद्दां पावस पडटा तेन्ना एक विचित्रशें दिसता. म्हणून आयज आमी एक खास मुलाखत अशी दवरल्या. तर आमचे मदीं हांगा आसा डॉक्टर RM रमेश कुमार सर. हे जे आसा NIOचे चीफ सायंटिस्ट आसात आनीक हेड मेट्रोलॉजिस्ट म्हणून आसात. सो तांकां आमी सगळ्यान पयलीं आमच्या कार्यक्रमाक सुरवातेक येवकार दिवया. आनीक सर वेलकम. सर आतां तुमी जाणात आसतले पावस खूब पडटा आनीक सिजन भायर म्हटल्यार सिजन सोडून सुद्दां भायर पावस पडटा. सो हे कित्याक लागून पडटा, कित्याक हो क्लायमेट चेंज जाता?
It's a very good question, Gaurish. People thought actually the monsoon jelly and a पाऊस येऊ ना म्हणून. In fact, the monsoon withdraw on 15th of October from the entire Indian subcontinent. And the same day, northeast monsoon येले. Northeast monsoon म्हणजे आमचा southeast peninsular Indian जाता. And this monsoon or this month of October, in fact, we always say month of October is actually very strange. We always say October month is a cruel month because there is hardly any winds and the humidity is high, etc. But this October was exceptionally good as well. In fact, it received so much of rainfall. The North Goa received about 130% excess and the South Goa district received about 90% excess. In addition to that, the entire state received about 106.5 excess rainfall till 1st of November, this one. In addition to that, there are several days asile. Itla paus polo. You are talking about Diwali. That is actually on 31st of October. We had actually 43.3 millimeters. But the highest rainfall was actually on 16th October, where the entire state received about 96.7 millimeters paus mello. And there are several other things. Another interesting thing, Mangala, usually we don't get so much rainfall in most of the places. If you look at the, let us say, rain gauge wise, Valpoi maximum rainfall, Valpoi we got about 488 millimeters, followed by actually Sangalim, which got about 477 millimeters. And the lowest amount of rainfall in the month of October was actually at Perne, which received only 200 millimeters. Another interesting thing is a cyclone, Dana cyclone, that actually hit the Orissa coast. So people were worried whether it will affect or not. Actually, it didn't affect much actually for state of Goa or the entire west coast of India in Asle. Amka last few days we got the rainfall is because of the cyclonic circulation asle. Takalaguna chamcha including the Diwali day amka paus malalo.
So what are the reason behind this unusual rainfall?
Yeah, basically I would say there are several factors. We cannot blame each and everything to climate change. See, basically there was actually moisture, and if there is enough cloud process, or as I mentioned, there was actually cyclonic circulation. There are n number of factors actually which give rise to the rainfall. One is actually we should have a convergence, we should have clouds, we should have enough moisture, and the rain forming purposes are actually two different types. One is what we call a warm cloud, and the other is what we call a cold cloud. India tropics, we have actually what we call a warm cloud rainfall making process. So most of the rainfall, especially in Goa or the tropical region, some warm cloud process to milta. So the conditions were conducive, and the cyclonic circulation actually induced amka paus malalenga Goa and most of the states of actually Goa.
So हे सगळें प्रिव्हेंट करपाक लागून आमकां कितें अशे स्टेप्स घेवपाक जाय एज अ ह्युमन एंड एज अ गव्हर्मेंट? What government should take step on this?
Okay, I would say this is actually a good opportunity rather than a bad opportunity. As you correctly mentioned, Diwalicha Divas paus nobody wants because you keep diyas outside or whatever. Nobody would like to have. But then I would say take it a positive factor. For example, most of the tourists, in fact, we have actually a tagline, Go Goa 365 days. So in fact, if you look at the rains, they can be used as a natural resource. because usually after the rains, people get actually this one that you don't get enough rainfall, etc. But then if this rainfall which fell, including the month of October, no doubt this year monsoon 124 years maximum was actually there. But in addition to that, the October and in November pass we can fill actually our wells and ponds and lakes, etc. But as you said, it can actually hamper the festive mood and spirit, no doubt. People cannot go out, people cannot do shopping, people cannot go and have actually that Diwali fest, or so many things cannot be done because outdoor activity will be curtailed or restricted, including several times that cricket matches also has been. Last time when we had actually the first day of actually that Bangalore test was actually hampered thanks to the rains.
सो सी लेवल सुद्धा इन्क्रीज जाता ते आम्ही पळयतात. सो गोंयान असे कितले असे सी लेवल अजून पर्यंत इन्क्रीज जाला?
Basically, most of the coast is actually 2 or 3 millimeters per year. It is not much. But then it affects places like say Antarctica. They say that Antarctica more and more greenery jatamo. And this year we had actually rains in Sahara. Can you imagine? Sahara is actually supposed to be the warmest desert in the world. Antarctica is just opposite the coldest desert in the world. So Sahara flood jata. And Antarctica warming jat greenery jata. So things are actually changing. That I would attribute actually. And not only that, it affects the ecology. It affects the animals. For example, 60 colonies of emperor penguins were vanished from 2018 to 22. 5 varshanach itle emperor penguins became extinct. So such problems can happen anywhere, including our own state of Goa. Things are going from bad to worse. That I agree.
सो मनशाचेर हेजो परिणाम जावपाक जायना म्हणून कितें स्टेप्स?
Okay. Basically, I would say we should use maximum public transport so that more and more of greenhouse gas is not going to the atmosphere. Use locally made things. For example, fruits. We don't have to go for exotic fruits like say strawberry or kiwi. Locally available like use korpa jai. Fruits, food, whatever. And use always public transport and do minimum harm actually to this one. Another important thing is actually plastics. So a lot of things we can, and we should not be too greedy. We should be happy and content with whatever is available. Just like Mahatma Gandhi said, there is enough for each and every human being, but not for every greedy person.
सर लास्ट डेकेडान आमी पळयले सुनामी सारखे एक मोठी हे जाले प्रॉब्लेम जालो. सो तसो सुनामी इन फ्युचर येवंक शकता?
Tsunamis are basically caused by actually the things which are happening actually in the seabed. We call it earthquakes or volcanic eruptions in the seabed or whatever. Not every time it happens. Last time was actually in 2004. It does not happen at least in the Indonesian region. It had actually in that Sumatra and that Indonesian region in 2004 and the waves traveled or whatever. That's how we had actually the tsunami type waves.
So next sea disaster जावपाक अशें कितें possibility आहा?
Oh, that's actually a loaded question. See, I would say basically the problem is actually we should have actually sustainable development. Jai. There are a couple of things. One is actually our population is increasing. Everybody wants actually a house. Everybody wants actually a vehicle or a 2-wheeler or a 4-wheeler. So everybody puts pressure on the environment. Either the human beings in terms of actually, let us say human beings, everybody wants a house, everybody wants a 2-wheeler or 4-wheeler. That puts actually greenhouse gas emissions in the atmosphere and everybody needs food. Where does the food does not come from? Thin air or whatever, no? So each and everything is actually dependent upon the nature. And I would say we are more and more plundering the environment or nature. So the disaster, one important thing I'll tell is actually we have more and more extreme or intense rainfall events. Which was not, in fact, this year, we had actually several intense rainfall events with in between. आमको पावसूच मेळना. आमी ते ब्रेक म्हणून सांगता. असले ब्रेक येता आणि इंटेन्स रेनफॉल येता. आमकां 4 महिन्याचे पावस 4-5 नाले 10 दिसांना मेळटा. That's not a good thing. The intense नाले extreme rainfall event जाल्यार मेलो. So that's not good. So, and another thing is actually land use, land change pattern also happening. Not only for the state of Goa, everywhere. If you look at places like say Dehradun, you look at any state, including Kerala. Kerala, we had actually Wayanad disaster, if you look at. And there was also happening that man-animal conflict is also happening. People are encroaching the territorial areas of actually, that, let's say, animals. So where will the animals go? Whether it's actually the elephants or whatever in Kerala, Wayanad or whatever. It is happening almost all the states, whether it's Kerala or Karnataka or everywhere across India, it is happening.
So you can see many hill cuttings or in and around Goa. So can you tell us की गोयान सुद्धा वायनाड सारखी सिच्युएशन येऊ शकता?
See, basically, one gentleman, Professor Madhav Gadgil, had actually surveyed the entire Western Ghats from Kerala up to Mumbai. And he said that the eco-sensitive regions should actually be, let us say, properly done. But nobody listened to him. In fact, Kerala, we had actually Professor Madhav Gadgil report. Then later we had actually Kasturi Ringan report. And then thirdly, we had actually Woman v. Woman report. All of them were not actually this one. So we get more and more such of things which are happening or the state of Kerala. So it can happen not only to Kerala, it can happen to Karnataka, it can happen to the state of Goa or any other state, as I mentioned, Dehradun. Any state or Uttarakhand, you name any state, if the things or if you are not in unison with the nature or ecology or not protect the ecology or the surrounding environment, you had it. And this land use, land change pattern, because of the pressure from the human beings, it puts pressure on the entire thing. Plus, these extreme rainfall events. It's actually like a double whammy. One side, we have actually pressure from more and more from the land use, land change pattern. The other is actually the extreme or the intense rainfall events, plus the prolonged breaks. So both these things actually make the life much more easier in addition to this global warming or climate change phenomena.
अनेक सर क्वेश्चन येता की ह्या वर्साक आमी पयल्या जे लायटनिंग जाता ते चड सकयल जाता. सो अर्लियर जे पास्ट इयर्स आसा तेन्ना आमी पळयलें लायटनिंग आसा ते वयर जाताली. सो ह्या वर्साक आमी आयकलां लायटनिंग आसा ते पडटा, कोणाच्या घरार पडटा, कोणाचे आनी खंय पडटा. सो ते कित्याक लागून आसतलें?
That's a very good question. Lightning usually can happen between actually two clouds or cloud and the ground. So basically we have about 10,000 volts येता. ताका लागून ते lightning येता. As you correctly said, if it is happening between the clouds, no problem, we are seeing in a distance. And there are different types of actually step ladder. But nowadays actually the clouds are nearer. The clouds near between the cloud and the land. And as you correctly said, the cloud and this one, the charges are actually this one. You have actually over either a land or a building or this one. But people do keep lightning arresters or whatever. So that's a problem. I think come here, sir. But as you said, usually आमकां lightning मेळटा pre-monsoon and post-monsoon. Monsoona येवना. Okay, so now we are in the post-monsoon. ताका लागूनच येता.
सो हे आशिल्ले डॉक्टर M.R. रमेश कुमार. सो हेंचे कडल्यान आमी जाणून घेतलें की गोंयान हे जे क्लायमेटीक चेंजीस जातात ते कित्याक लागून जातात आनी कशे जातात ते. सो हे आशिल्ले आमचे बारीकसो कार्यक्रम तुमचे मुखार हाडपाचो आमी प्रयत्न केलो की कित्याक लागून गोंयान जो क्लायमेट सडन चेंज जाता आनी कित्याक लागून पावस सुद्दां असो जो गोंयान येता तो कित्याक लागून येता. थँक्यू सो मच सर.
Thank you.
म्हटल्यार सिजन सोडून सुद्धा भायर पावस पडटा. सो हे कित्याक लागून पडटा, कित्याक हो क्लायमेट चेंज जाता? सुनामी इन फ्युचर येवंक शकता. ह्या वर्साक आमी पयलें जे लायटनिंग जाता ते चड सकयल जाता. सो अर्लियर जे पास्ट इयर्स आसा तेन्ना आमी पळयलें लायटनिंग आसा ते वयर जाताली. सो ह्या वर्साक आमी आयकलां लायटनिंग आसा ते पडटा, कोणाच्या घरार पडटा, कोणाचे आनी खंय पडटा. सो ते कित्याक लागून आसतलें?